Recently, I was asked about the sample development process, and specifically if you as a fashion brand have to pay suppliers for samples of their products. I'm talking here about samples of clothing products that they've made. And in this video, I want to answer that question for you because it's a really important one, as many people, rightly so, want to get samples from multiple vendors so that they can check quality before going ahead with production. So I want to dive into that in this video. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Vicky, founder of The Fashion Business Coach, the platform that helps small and startup fashion brands to launch and scale successfully. You're watching one of my weekly videos in which we tackle one of the challenges that small and startup fashion brand owners face and try and figure out how we can resolve that issue. The first thing that I want to address is the sample making process, which was a question that I had about whether or not brands are expected to pay for their samples. So I wanted to dive into that topic a little bit today. So first things first, if you're brand new and don't know what the sample making process is, then let's cover that. So basically, a lot of fashion brands who are brand new think that they can just draw out a quick sketch or something like that, hand it over to the factory, and the factory can take it from there. But unfortunately, that's not the case. We actually have to provide a lot of information ourselves to the factory. So really, before we're even doing any kind of factory sourcing, searching, anything like that, we want to make sure that we have this detailed document, this blueprint, so to speak, of our products. And that's something called a tech pack. When we've got that tech pack stage, what we typically do in the industry is send that to multiple vendors and get some ideas for pricing and see what they offer, whether we're happy with different inclusions and things. And then normally we'll pick one, or sometimes we pick multiple to have a sample made, like an initial sample of a product to check whether we're happy with them. And really there's two reasons for this sample in this first instance, this first sample. The first one is to check the quality of the factory, check that we're happy not only with what they've actually delivered, the work that they've produced and sent to us in the form of that sample, but also just to see how things went. How was the communication? Did they listen to us? And use that as a bit of a trial for whether or not this factory is one to pursue. Again, some people have multiple factories that they have a sample with initially, so they may be comparing the samples and the quality and the price and so on. So that's the very first stage. And so to go back to the original question, yes, you are going to need to pay for that. And it is absolutely worth it, because you don't want to be proceeding with a factory, committing to a big audit potentially, without having seen a sample and what they're capable of. I would definitely always as well have a sample of your own product made before you commit to any large order, because the problem is, yes, it might be worthwhile and helpful to see a sample that they've made for somebody else, but of course at the end of the day we want to make sure that your product is possible to make by them. We want to make sure that they have all of the equipment that they need for yours, that they understand it, that they can execute it well. And although there are benefits to seeing a product that they've made for someone else, of course no two products are alike. Factory sourcing is very much like matchmaking. Just because a factory was good for someone else doesn't mean that it's going to be good for you, which is why recommendations in the factory space don't tend to be that helpful. Again, a bigger topic for another day. But essentially with this sample, we want to make sure that we're getting a sample of our product from the factory before we commit to a big order with them. So yes, there is the downside because we're going to have to pay for this sample. But in my opinion, the reward massively outweighs the cost of that, because it just gives us that bit of confidence that we're happy to move forward with this factory and basically give them more money in the form of a large order. And let's face it, it's better to know now, right? If this factory is no good or can't produce what you want, than after you've paid them a deposit for a massive order. So yes, we do need to pay for the samples, but yes, it's something that is worth doing in the long run. Is that what you were expecting? Had you budgeted having samples into your forecast? If not, don't panic. At least you know about it now and it's something that we can move forward with. If you're, struggling with anything else on the manufacturing side or even the marketing side, design side, whatever it is, I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments and can always be considered for a topic in a future video. These videos are out every Tuesday, and so there's always content that we need to fill. So by all means, I would love for you to ask me a question. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure that you either subscribe or follow, depending on which channel you're watching this on, so that you can find out exactly when new content is live. If you're really excited to start your fashion brand but are feeling a bit nervous because you actually don't know what you're doing, I'd love to help you. Let's chat. My products and services have helped a ton of people go from zero to launch with their fashion brand, even though they'd had no industry experience whatsoever. So I'd love to chat to you. Make sure you check out the link in the description where I'll link to my contact page. You can just let me know a little bit about what your challenges are so I can try and help you overcome those, and we can schedule a chat if it's something that I can help with. I'd love to hear from some of you soon, and have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.